this love that you never started. You once destroyed a broken heart that was already shattered. Holding on to what we have, you take us to.
Welcome back to Playday number 7 of CCS Season 3 Europe. It is our second matchup for tonight. It will be Ouroboros against Dave Esports. I'm still joined by Ace of Pirate and Axer Troika. How is it going, guys?
Very, very good, Netflix. How could it not be after that first fixture between My Revenge and Team Boost? What a fantastic match they've just treated us to. Almost 2 overtimes. First map went to overtime, second map didn't, but Team Boost coming away with a solid win there, but My Revenge putting up an excellent fight. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to this one.
Yeah, absolutely. This one is going to be certainly one to watch. Like Netflix has said, Ouroboros versus Dave Esports.
So, Ace, if you won't mind, let's go through Ouroboros roster real quick before Troika will tell us something about Dave.
Yep, so Ouroboros coming into this, they are currently in 6th position in the league, so they've got a little bit of work to do, and somebody like Dave, who's up in 3rd, is going to be a great opportunity for them to just close that gap and pick up that second win and bring them to 2-2. At the minute, they are, facing 1v2 at the minute, so they're going to be playing with Heisenberg, we've got Madmouse, Peda, we've got Crying, who is, I don't think, on the roster there, and the last one will be either Joe or Corey, I believe. So we've had some fantastic players from Ouroboros. I think they've maybe just been a little bit unfortunate so far in those 1v2 the 1v2 of losses. 46 rounds against, but 37 rounds for. So again, that goes just to speak of how much they've played. They've gone to 3rd map a few times, and they've had some sort of strong results, but just not good enough to quite get them the win. They came out with a loss last week against My Revenge. So again, that's a team that we've just seen there in a little bit of transition. The one win that Ouroboros has picked up so far has been against Fours, who currently sit bottom of the league, but that is not to say that they're not a quality team, because they've played very well so far. But Ouroboros, I think, just in a little bit of a sort of transition, they really need to just chain a couple of wins together now if they want to start progressing up the league.
All right, and Troika will now tell us something about Dave Esports.
Okay, so Dave Esports, as Ace kindly said, they're sitting in 3rd on the leaderboard at the moment. It's kind of a joint 2nd, if you will. It's only round count that is separating them, and they've only actually lost 1 round against... they're only 1 round behind Identity, sitting on the number 2 spot. So, number 2, number 3, they're up there as one of the better teams in this league so far. Let's take a look at the roster. We're going to be looking at Feral, Dat Guy Jesus, Zach, Dealey, and Gomfy. All fantastic players. They've had some great success in the league so far. They've beat Hooked and Boost, and I think the only one that they've lost has been to Dizlon, who are currently sitting up there at the top of the table. So really good game, fantastic team. They have had some 3 round maps that have gone to 3 matches. And that's shown, that there's been some really difficult. They've particularly struggled on border in the past, which is a bit of an interesting one. So interested to see what happens this evening. As we've said, the leaderboard, it doesn't really separate the teams. The teams aren't that much separate. The leaderboard doesn't really reflect how these teams play. They're all very much of a muchness, and any team could take it. So it is definitely worth sticking around and watching Ouroboros versus Dave Esports.
All Alright, thanks guys for those quick insights into Dave and Ouroboros. We will head to the map and operator bans just about right now. They are, as always, provided by mapban.eu. Definitely go check them out. So we'll have Ouroboros on the left side. However, the map 1 will be map 2 that is displayed on the bans. Unfortunately, we had some struggles with the map bans in our Discord server. So don't worry about that. Map number 2 is actually going to be map number 1. So we, as a first ban, we do have Consulate followed by Chalet, Oregon, and Border.
Ooh, okay.
Going to see some different maps from the last game then. On the last game, we saw Coastline and Oregon played. So here we're going to be looking at Bank, Skyscraper, Coastline. And as they come out, you can see that Skyscraper and Bank are the two chosen maps with, I think, Skyscraper, correct me if I'm wrong, Netflix, is Skyscraper the first map then?
Yeah, we will have Bank as a first map. It's the other way around on our bans right now.
Okay, perfect sense. So Bank will come in as the first map. It's a map I really, really like. We've seen it a couple of times over the weekend at the LAN finals, and expect to see some heavy roam presence on there for sure. And then Skyscraper, almost the complete opposite. You've got a good roam game, but a lot of close encounters versus Bank's lines of sight.
Yeah, definitely. Dave Esports historically doing very well on Bank. I believe they took 1 6-0 in a previous week. So, no surprise that snuck its way in and that they've banned out Border. Obviously, like I did say, they have been struggling on it. Skyscraper, we've barely seen at all. But again, it can be a great map. Like you say, the close engagements. Players often like to play a Frost on Skyscraper just because of the amount of windows and stuff that you've got to jump through. So, going to have to look at these op bans to see what happens. But I think we've got them there. And the first two attacking operators to be banned for Bank are going to be Ying and Blitz.
Blitz, not too much of a surprise. I think a lot of teams just don't like playing against Blitz. But Ying there, could be interesting. Getting down into, maybe a Lockers plant. The Candelas can play a big part of that if you get the wall opened with Thermite and you start looking to, go into the normal plant spot there. That can play a big part. So Ying could be an interesting ban just to mix up, but obviously it will depend on those defender bans, which we have now, who are Mirror and Echo. So Ying may be looking like a good choice now that Mirror's off the board.
Yeah, Echo band. It's not a band that we see all too often. Interested to see this one.
Echo, very powerful and quite frequently used on Bank, though. They like to get him down there in Garage. You've got that super long line of sight with his ACOG, and then you can use his drone later in the round to deny the plant in Lockers. So, yeah, I can see why Echo's gone there.
Definitely, and the thing is that you've got the mirror ban as well, and historically, if we see a mirror band for one map, usually you expect to see him banned throughout the whole series. So, be interested to see how that one plays out. I can't wait to watch Lockers without a mirror because it's so popular to play a mirror down there in that little connect corridor and vault, looking over into CC.
And with that being said, we will head into map number 1 of this best of 3. It is Ouroboros against Dave Esports on Bank with Ace and X casting. Have fun, guys.
Thank you very much, Netflix. So, as you said, we are moving into Bank, and we will be playing the 5 attacking versus 5 defensive phases. And we see there that we have Ouroboros on the attack first, and they will, it looks like, be attacking a teller's office and archives location. So this is just a really good example of how those operator bans can change things up. X, can you remember not seeing Lockers as the first objective on Bank?
We've not seen Bank all too much, but definitely Teller's Office is an interesting one to come out on. This is, of course, Dave Esports' map, so it's going to be very considered, I imagine, as to where they choose. And seeing a Vigil for the first time tonight, he's snuck his way through the operator bans. Let's see what the Vigil can do. It is a really heavy roam map, so I'm excited to see some late roams, some really interesting players trying to waste some time upstairs.
I know that you love to play the Vigil in that open area, and particularly in the closet area, just to keep them guessing, and somebody always comes through that single window, don't they, every single time?
Yeah, definitely. Vigil Vigil in open, or even playing him upstairs, up in stock, with a bit of a vertical hold down to watching the doorway. That's always a fantastic one as well. And I mean, like you said in the pre-game, we've seen a lot of Bank in the Pro League this weekend. So we're going to see some new strats, perhaps.
Yeah, interesting cams going out there from Valkyrie. We've got one in the main lobby to be watching that area, and that's just going to be feeding that intel back to see where that push is coming from. And we see Vigil now just moving back through site, so not too far off site on the roam yet, but plenty of time for him to make his way out. And we've got Crying and Jackal there just moving into the top floor, and they're going to be aggressively starting that top floor roam. That's 30 seconds into the round, and they're already moving inside and looking to see if they can probably pick up any footprints.
Yeah, he's managed to pick up the footprints of Mute, although I believe Mute's sitting on cams, possibly in the objective, feeling pretty safe. Did hear a C4 it though, and Daily Die is going to pick up the first kill onto Mad Mouse. Crying though, going to get one back onto Zach, so Legion and Jackal off the board. Losing Jackal so early is going to definitely hurt them. That's going to allow Gomfia's Vigil to roam that little bit easier.
Yep, very considered now. It's just slowed things down a little bit. I think they were trying to take control early of that CEO, getting above tellers. Although they don't have the sledge or book on the board to open that floor up, they do have the Ash with a couple of charges potentially that could have moved in there and just open that floor up in CEO that we're looking at now to get a view down into sight and just see if they could start picking up any kills. So Jackal, does have a shotgun as a secondary, so could have assisted in that as well. And that's maybe just going to make them refocus, but Crying getting a great kill from the hatch onto that guy Jesus. People with the height advantage in Siege usually do tend to win out in those gunfights, so great watch there from Crying just to take things into the favour of his team again. And Glasgow now just going to start opening stuff up, and he's going to see if he can get a line into sight.
Ferrell is going to be creeping up the stairs and does manage to pick up the kill onto Joe, and that's going to be diffuser down, so he's going to know where the diffuser is now for his team, and that's going to be very important. Although Crying is going to pick one up onto Gomfi, so 3 versus 2, although Daily Die picks a beautiful vertical kill up through the same hole he got the C4 kill, I might add, onto Peter, bringing us back down into a 2 versus 2. Crying is pretty lit at this stage. He has just collected the diffuser, sitting on around 22, 23 hit points there. So moving into this final 35 seconds-ish, it's going to be a 2 versus 2, but definitely the advantage has got to be with Dave Esports purely because of the hit points that they do have remaining on the board.
Dealey and Ferrell now just holding the site and just waiting for the push to come. You can see there they've both got angles, and they know that the attackers have it all to do now. 18 seconds left on the clock, and Crying starts moving in. Ferrell gets the kill onto Heisenberg just at the same time as Dealey gets the kill onto Crying, and that's going to finish out the first round in favour of Dave Esports.
That was fantastic. It was almost like a bit of a dance, kind of. They knew exactly which way either of them were going, and they managed to pick up the kills at the same time. That C4 kill from Dealey there, unbelievable. You don't often see that as a popular C4 spot. Obviously he's playing the Valkyrie, so you can imagine that there maybe is a camera around the skylight somewhere. There's loads of places to hide a Valkyrie camera up there. You can hide them in some of the potted bush plants that are dotted around outside on the railing, inside the railing, if you will. But to get that kill off a good call out or a camera that you've placed yourself with a C4 and then get a follow-up kill with your MPX through it, play the round for me without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, really for me, the mistake there was from Ouroboros was they got top floor control very quickly, and it was almost given up to them. They didn't really have to challenge too much, but they just then didn't do anything with it. They didn't have the operators there. So I'm wondering if maybe that bomb site took them by surprise. They just didn't have the operators. Sledge or book is what you'd be looking for to get into CEO and open that floor up. And I think it's fair to say if that floor was opened up, Ferrell and Dealey could not have played that the way that they did at the end there, because they were both turtled on site, holding angles. Not possible if CEO floor is opened up.
No, definitely, and I think they may have been caught off guard again here, because we see Joe on the Jackal again, and we do talk about our bank is a very roamer-friendly map, if you will, but when the objectives are on second floor or first floor, it's not as important to clear out the roamers, because you're going to find out where they are just through playing it and through drone work anyway. So I think that Jackal really comes into his own when you start thinking about a lockers hold, but Dave Esports aren't giving him that at the minute. They're not giving him what they expect. It's the CEO is the last place you expect. You know, if Lockers is still on the board, so definitely winning out on the sort of trickery and the mind games here at the moment. Dave Esports for sure.
Yeah, like you say, and I think that comes down to that operator ban of mirror. It just takes Lockers off the board and it makes you think on your feet. But certainly seems like Dave have got some strats in the pocket here, just ready to pull them out for these alternative sites. And that's going to be what is key going forward in this sort of environment whereby you've got the operator bans. Legion now, my name is Zach, just holding the angle there, expecting the push into stock. In come the flash grenades. Don't really do the job sufficiently. I don't think he's tight under that window, but yes, I think Crying does know, and that drone is surely going to tell him. So now that's Zach having to move out, but he will challenge, and he'll put shots on, but he'll get down by Crying and then finished off with a headshot. So that is going to be 5v4 Legion off the board. So that is some goo mines for sure not going to be going down as well. So a real loss of utility. And in comes the first E1D, and Crying will pick up the kill onto Dealey, who had been highlighted by that, and it was a wallbang. So that is the Lion gadget being used perfectly to bring us to 5v3. But the Vigil here, Gomfy just getting the kill onto Joe, but being traded straight back out by Peter, bringing us to 4v2 in favour of Dave Esports.
Ouroboros, they are in a fantastic push, and like you say, they just managed to take control of stock there, double pushing people, and it makes it really difficult when you're playing those tight angles, especially if you've got two people challenging you. And I think that I'd maybe like to have seen a bit more vertical play from Dave Esports. Peter there is going to suffer, and as Mad Mouse takes away around half of his health with a grenade and follows it up with another one that doesn't really do anything. 40 seconds left now on the clock, and it is on to Ouroboros to get this plant down one way or another. They've definitely got the man advantage. Peter there picking up kill onto Jesus Ferrell, trading it out, getting a quick double onto Peter and Crying. Heisenberg from the window as the Lion picking up the final kill onto Ferrell, and that's going to be all even at 1-1 round count. Are we going to see a Lockers hold now? It should be about the right time.
Great plays from Ouroboros there. They got in and just focused on site, really, which, you know, I think they could do because there wasn't really any roam presence elsewhere in the map. Like you say, when you go up to top floor, it's not something that you see quite as often, so the Jackal maybe not as much use. It just goes to show Vigil was next door to the site, essentially, in the janitor's closet. So, you know, if anybody's going to be across the map in another location waiting for that late flank, you'd expect it to be Vigil. But, you know, great plays from Ouroboros, not to take anything away from them. They did very well. It was nice to see the wall bang on the Lion. You don't see that very often anymore with the changes, but you know, Dealey just proving there that it's still dangerous to not just stand still. You know, he took the movement, he had a soft wall next to him, and bang, down he goes.
Yeah, I think Lion's in a really nice place, and you know, a lot of people don't like the global ability and all that sort of stuff, but I think that, you know, with the way that he's started to play now, he's not 100% picked. We have seen him a couple of times this evening, but like you say, you can get away with moving and then standing still. It's then down to the attacker to predict and have the sort of map knowledge as to where you could be behind that wall to get the wall bang. So I think wall bangs are a lot more, you know, considered, and you know, you've got to know what you're doing to get one now. Whereas before, you know, it was just, you know, a little bit too easy. Dealey Die there getting the sneaky camera up onto one of the chandeliers, and we're going to see Office again. And you know, Office Intel is no surprise because Dave Esports did do a fantastic job defending this site last time, although they did get a good C4 kill and another shot through the hole that was made by Dealey. So I don't think Ouroboros are going to fall for that again. You know, they're going to have to do something a little bit different this time and maybe just push a little bit of a different way. But it does seem like they are pretty happy just pushing the skylight from terrace. They've done it now 3 rounds in a row.
Very similar approach to the last time they attacked this site. As you said, they just went in there at top floor, and we've got a couple. We've got Zach up there, and we've got Ferrell on the Ella just playing janitor's closet, trying to hold them back. They expect the push to come from there, and it is. But they still haven't brought that buck or sledge. So even if they do get top floor control, what they can do with it is going to be somewhat limited by whether Jackal is still alive or not. And shots coming in there from Ferrell, just trying to keep them out of stock, and gets the kill onto Crying. So that's a great early pick. Jackal going to be looking to approach, but as we said, he's got Zach up there with him, and he's just helped him there by having that sort of flank watch, almost a very similar job there, and he's just kept Jackal off Ferrell, and now Ferrell is again safe in janitor's closet and just waiting for that peak.
It looks like Dealey Die is primed, ready with the C4 downstairs. Ferrell's got a really nice out there with the hatch being open. And he can just look to rotate. And is he going to go back up the stairs? No, he's possibly going to go all the way around to sort of spiral stairs area and maybe just start about thinking of playing around there a little bit more. Wasted plenty of time. And, you know, they've got a man in the process. But Mad Mouse there with a beautiful kill onto Zach. Legion there, just maybe overextending just a slight bit. Yep, as we said, Feral has rotated all the way around spiral stairs. And he's now found himself around CEO area. So he's still going to become a bit of a pain for the remaining Ouroboros players playing upstairs, and Peter and Joe are going to look to press this now, although Feral has got the advantage there because they're not going to be expecting him, and manages to pick up a headshot kill onto Peter. Gets downed as he tries to jump out. The door is barricaded, so that's going to make it super difficult for Jesus to think about picking him up. Jackal is going to get vertical and try and pick up the kill, although doesn't quite manage it. Lion scan coming out. Joe picking up that kill onto Feral, finishing what he started, and that's going to take us to a 3 versus 3, all equal. Joe has the diffuser in hand. Moving into the final sort of 25 seconds now, and you've got to be looking at Ouroboros to start making a move and planting. You know, they've gained a lot of map control. Daily Die there, picking up their kill onto Joe, bringing it to 3 versus 2. And that is now the diffuser not in hand. So Heisenberg and Mad Mouse with it all to do. They're going to have to go for kills at this stage. Daily Die picks up another one onto Heisenberg, and it is now all down to Mad Mouse. He's going to be trying to run upstairs and maybe just try and get some kills, or, you know, he's just saving his life. He doesn't want to die. He knows there's not a lot he can do at this time. And that's going to be around to the defenders. Dave Esports there picking up another very successful defend downstairs in Office and Tellers.
Great defense from Dave Esports there. The first thing that I particularly liked was those 2 roamers upstairs, Zach and Feral on the Legion and Ella. What a job they did. If you have a look at the round clock on that, 1 minute 50 at least had passed before they even started to be moved. Ella dropped the hatch and left 1 up there, and then Zach took the loss, but was still 2 minutes into the round there. So you've got 2 bodies upstairs that have now wasted 2 minutes, got 1 kill, and then Feral rotates back round, gets a 2nd kill and drops the diffuser, and we're then at 45 seconds in the round. That is, you know, even for roamers, that their job is primarily to waste time. Getting it down to 45 seconds in the round without the attackers being able to focus on the objective is huge. It's a real accomplishment, and they've done very, very well there.
Yeah, you often see, you know, great back-to-back plays, I think, from Dave Esports. They do manage to cover each other very well. And like you say, committing 1 roamer to it is good. But, you know, sometimes committing 2 roamers to it is better, just because you can actually really control that area. Like you say, you can develop a crossfire. And yeah, you've got 2 bodies up there. There's twice the risk of someone, you know, dying out early. But if they do manage to pull it off, it is worthwhile. Like you say, they can waste a hell of a lot of time, and they can cover each other's backs and create a bit of a crossfire.
So, moving on to round 4, here comes Lockers without a mirror. Going to be interesting to see how they deal with it. It looks like the setup is very similar there. Smoke putting up the same reinforcement and shooting out the wall to allow those toxic bays to be thrown through on any potential planters. But it looks like the attackers have largely spawned in alleyway and will be looking to possibly push through the sort of open office area. Crying already moving in there very, very quickly.
Yeah, Feral is desperate for a run-out kill there with the pulse heartbeat scanner, but not going to see all too much. And at that stage, he's got to pretty much, you know, come to... It's a safe bet to assume, that the attackers have chosen to push somewhere else, and that they have. Like we said, they're going to be in open area and maybe just look to get some hatches open and gain a little bit of control vertically that way. Gonfi there is going to be trying to shoot out some drones as Daily Die is playing pretty tight up in the garage, gets droned out. Throws a Legion Mine, always a good thing. And that's just going to make Heisenberg think, maybe, you know, think twice about that. And it looks like he didn't actually take out the static camera on the way through, so he potentially already knew that he was there. But he's going to have to rotate all the way around. He's not going to be able to push that safely now, knowing that there is a Legion in there. Hatch is now started to open. I believe that is the sort of vault hallway hatch. And we're getting the tunnel hatch as well there. So Gonfi's still playing pretty tight on blue stairs, and that's going to be a really powerful angle to wait and play, but he's going to get droned out by Joe. Couldn't be more obvious there. Fantastic drone work from Joe, and that's just going to cause Peter to think twice as the call out comes through. Elamine's going off, flashbangs coming in. Who is going to win this trade? Zach manages to pick up the kill onto Crying, and I don't believe they came to blows, but yeah, Joe picks the kill onto Gonfi. Peter taking out Zach. Zach getting traded pretty much straight back out there, and Joe coming out on top there with some fantastic drone work. getting that kill. That takes us to 4 versus 3. First Lion Scan coming out with a minute left on the clock. Good upstairs control here from Ouroboros. Mad Mouse looks as though he's going to rotate all the way through the map, although Zach is playing upstairs, but it doesn't look like he knows where the push is coming from. There is a drone on the floor, so potentially Vigil has been droned, or Mad Mouse is up here because he knows that it is Vigil. I'd definitely be thinking about using my scanner in that situation. It does look as though Mad Mouse... oh, yeah, Mad Mouse is going to pick up the kill with the grenade there. Beautiful kill onto Jesus. Maybe getting his scanner out there and just picking it up there off camera when we didn't see it, but that's going to make the job that much harder for Dave Esports moving into this 4 versus 2 with 25 seconds left on the clock.
Excellent kill from Mad Mouse there on that nade, just to wipe that Vigil out. That gives them pretty much complete upstairs control, but Heisenberg moving in with a kill onto Feral. Joe finishes it off with a kill onto Dealy Die. Fantastic round for Ouroboros, brings us to 2v2, and this is going backwards and forwards like you would not believe. The plant just about to go down, as you could see on the replay there as well. So Ouroboros moving very quickly through the map there. They picked up a couple of roamers. They got Ella off the blue stairs, picked up the Vigil upstairs. IQ getting that beautiful nade kill, which thank you to Medics, we had an excellent view of. And I can't pick a winner here.
No, not at all. It's definitely back and forth, like you say. You know, there's some great individual players on each team, and to be honest with you, it looks as though Dave Esports is struggling just a little bit as a team. Some great individual performances from Feral and Dealy, but you know, the rest of the team maybe just struggling for kills there. You know, doing the job, wasting the time, but you know, could that be the difference between a couple of rounds won or lost? You know, this is their map after all, and they have won this map previously, 6-0 in this league only a couple of weeks ago. So you know, it certainly seems as though Ouroboros have done the homework, and they've figured out how they're going to play this, and they're definitely, you know, they're definitely able to play and able to compete on this level, on this map with Dave Esports. You know, coming out of your own map on, oh, that's a nice drone, but looks as though he's not going to be too happy with it. Yeah, coming out of your own map on your defensive phase, which is the phase that you know, kind of have the most control over. You know, if you come out of that on 3-2, you can only help but think that you've, you know, maybe lost that phase a little bit.
So we've got another alleyway spawn, largely. It looks like we've got at least 4 of the attackers there, possibly all 5. Crying, looking to move in through open area, possibly. Are they going to... yeah, he's going to rappel up, and they're going to look to take those skylights there first. And game again for top floor control, I'm guessing, which has been a bit of a mixed bag for them so far. They've had top floor control and not really seen any success with it. If you remember last time they tried to push particularly for top floor control on this objective, we had Feral and Zach holding upstairs as a 2-man roaming team and did a fantastic job. So whether they're going to try that again or not, obviously they can't necessarily do it in the exact same way because they'll just run into exactly where they stood and kill them. But I'd like to see that again. You know, it's like we say, it's such a roam-heavy map is Bank, and it's just, I love to see the aggression that it brings.
Yeah, it definitely brings out, you know, I think it's just nice when players have the ability to make large rotations, because it feels like it's really impactful because they're moving a long way across from one side to the other. But Mad Mouse looks like he's going to maybe come to blows with Dealy. Dealy just sitting really tight in there, but the grenade is going to come out. Dealy's going to hear it and not manage to pick up the kill. Mad Mouse managed to switch from the grenade back to the 5.52 and pick that headshot up onto Dealy Die. So that's going to be a big loss for Dave Esports. Feral trading it straight back out, getting Crying off the board. Crying as the Ash player does seem to be struggling just a little bit. He has picked up a couple of good kills, but not in the past couple of rounds. Mad Mouse there going to be hit by the lesion. That's going to give the notification to Zach that he's pushed through. Zach's going to quite rightly back off a little bit and just look to rotate down through bottom floor. It looks as though Gomfi's maybe stacking up just a little bit here with Feral, although Feral has switched it up. There is a guy playing outside on the roof in Heisenberg. That Vector, as we've discussed, is a fantastic weapon, especially at range, 50 rounds in the magazine. ACOG, it's got everything going for it. So you are seeing that Lion used as like a bit of a, you know, holding maybe a rotation. Quite often, we've seen that a number of times this evening, actually.
Thermite there, Peter just looking to move in. He's holding that angle from top floor, just looking for any of those rotations from the roamers, but there's nobody there for him to see at the moment. We've got 3 on site, and then we've got Gomfi off in the elevator, potentially about to be drawn out by Joe, but I don't think Joe has seen him and starts to move downstairs. Peter in the open area as well, so when is going to be Gomfi's time to spring? There's only 30 seconds remaining, and they need to start looking to just pick up a couple of kills here before Site gets pressured maybe a little bit heavier than we've seen so far.
Absolutely. Moving us now to 4 versus 4. There's only 20 seconds left on the clock now, though, so it's, they're going to have to do something at this stage, and you can't help but think that Dave Esports are definitely in a more advantageous position. Shots coming in, Mad Mouse picking up the kill onto Feral. Joe gets downed in the process, which means Diffuser is down. Lion Scan comes out from Heisenberg. Mad Mouse picks up another onto Zach. Jesus getting Joe. Plant is going to go down with no seconds left on the clock. Jesus going to pick up a quick double kill. Heisenberg getting Jesus. It all going on. Gomfy taking out Heisenberg 1 versus 1. Doc is going to stim himself back up with a little bit of health, and doesn't manage to pick up the kill onto Gomfy. So Gomfy's going to pick the kill up onto Peter, get the Diffuser, and that's going to be a fantastic round from him. Jesus and Gomfy there coming up clutch for their team, picking up some kills when they really needed them. Coming out of their defensive phase 3-2. You can't help but think that they've done a pretty good job there. Ouroboros put a fantastic fight, and it really seemed like they knew what Dave Esports were going to do, and they reacted really well to some things that they did well in previous rounds. So moving now into Ouroboros is defensive phase.
Great plays from Mad Mouse on that. I know he was on the losing end of things, but he got a 3K in there. But like I say, it was just those individual clutch efforts from both Jesus and Gomfy there at the end, getting 2K each, I think it was, and just really close things out for the team. They picked up 4 kills in about 10 seconds, and sometimes, that's what Siege comes down to. It's that, sort of tactical chess all the way through to the last 10 seconds, and then it's just a shootout come the end to see who is left standing. As you say then, switching sides, we've now got Dave Esports on the attack, and we have got Ouroboros on the defend, and they too, without the mirror in play, will choose to go for an Archives Tellers hold first of all.
It's almost like the other way around to our casual goals, because playing a casual game, often all the action happens in the first 20 seconds, and then 2 guys creep around the map for the remaining 3 hours of the round, and just peek each other or drone or use cameras and stuff. But play at this level is like the total opposite. All the camera work, all of the map control and all that's done in the first 2.5 minutes, and then in the final 30 seconds, that's when it goes down. So it definitely builds up that suspense, and good job for Dave Esports there, keeping the head and managing to pick up that win in the end. Looks as though we're going to have Feral up on the Blackbeard, just putting a few shots in there with the SR. I think he might have hit Joe then, actually. Joe's definitely lost a couple of hit points. So maybe Joe just using his C4 to make a bit of a rotation there and getting caught out.
Dave looking to attack the same site now that they've successfully defended 3 times, so you'd have to expect them to have a good understanding of this site. So let's see if they can do anything different to Ouroboros on the attack, and maybe have a little bit more teeth to it. I'd personally like to see the site pressured a little bit earlier in the round. I think that was something that Ouroboros struggled with. They didn't seem to, like you say, it was 20 seconds left when they were opening up those walls into site and looking to get the plant down, and I'd just like to see that come a little bit earlier and not allow those turtle defenses. But Joe picking up the first kill onto Zach there, so that's going to be the thermite off the board, and that could be huge in terms of this attack. They do still have the Hibana. Gomfy picking up the kill onto Joe, so that'll bring us to 4v4, or basically a refrag. They've still got the Hibana on the board for the hard breach, but you're not getting one operator in there that you really want to go and do some slaying. Currently in elevators, needs to either get into open area or possibly open up that corridor wall, but Crying just challenging Daily Die there and getting the kill. Mad Mouse following up with a C4 onto Gomfy, so very suddenly going in favour of Ouroboros. 4 versus 2 now, with only Blackbeard and Hibana left on the board, Feral and Jesus.
Jesus got a really tough job now, because Blackbeard's well outside the map, and the Diffuser is down in CEO, I believe. That's going to be getting defended pretty nicely by Crying, although it does look as though he's going to rotate back and think about maybe jumping over. Feral's now found his way into main lobby area, and the ping comes out to sort of show that, yeah, there is a guy up there. We need to kind of push him together and regain this man count just a little bit. 4 versus 2 is not ideal, but 3 versus 2 is a little bit easier to deal with. But it does look as though I think it's Crying. It does look as though Crying has got back into CEO, and he's just going to defend this Diffuser, and that's the right thing to do. They are running out of time, and it's not going to, it's not going to get any easier for him. They need to push this point. Jesus there, pushing it, getting the kill with the Bear in 9 onto Crying. Valkyrie and Pulse underneath. They're two of the operators that you probably don't want. Pulse doesn't appear to have a C4, but Valkyrie does, so maybe a bit of good call-outs there. But Peter there picking up the kill onto Jesus with the smoke grenade, leaving it all down to Blackbeard. So Blackbeard's going to have a really tough job now. Excuse me, sorry. And the C4 toss comes out there, but isn't successful. I think Heisenberg takes more of his own health out there. Feral picking up the first one. 8 seconds left on the clock. He's looking for the other, but he doesn't realize Peter is sitting close right, and Peter manages to pick up another kill, closing out that round for Ouroboros.
Excellent defense there from Ouroboros. They did exactly what was needed. They got that. I think the thermite was a not necessarily a turning point. It came very early in the round, but losing Zach on that rappel early on, I think it was the Legion, if I could be wrong, up in CEO, just losing that thermite early on, it just really limits you. Then you've got one hard breacher in Hibana left, and again, we've not seen that site breached at all, or actually, other than Blackbeard just coming in there in the last couple of seconds, we've not seen anybody get into site. So Archives successfully defended again, and maybe just makes us think a little bit differently about that site. With, you know, Mirror not being available, it's being played in a slightly different way, and we're seeing a lot of success in Archives.
I believe it was Dave Esports that actually banned out the Mirror. So kind of a bit difficult because I don't think they were successful defending downstairs. They kind of, you know, maybe taking it away from themselves a little bit. But it does look as though Ouroboros are a bit more comfortable going downstairs as opposed to going upstairs into CEO as Dave Esports did. So, you know, maybe this is where Dave are going to get their advantage and, you know, take this round. No Mirror on the board. Although Zach has chosen to take the thermite, which for me is a bit of a weird one. I'd have much preferred to have a Hibana for the hatches, but maybe with the lack of the Mirror, they're looking to push the tunnel a little bit more. But again, no Blackbeard on the board, so it's kind of back and forth. You know, obviously these things are personal preference, but you know, I think that if you're going to look at planting from tunnel, you're going to want to, you know, maybe bring a Blackbeard or a Glass, something of that nature. Obviously, Glass isn't on the table as he is banned. But it does seem like they've spawned back alley, and you know that would suggest that they're going to go for hatches. So again, weird they didn't bring the Hibana.
For me, I'd like to have seen a servers push. We've not seen it. We've only seen Lockers played once tonight without the mirror in play. But I'd like to just see a straight up servers push. Get in there, get both walls open with thermite, and go for the plant. Bait those smokes. You're limited in terms of, you know, what they can do with the C4. Yes, they can have the pulse down there and work him in vault and places like that, and just get a little bit of information, but it's just not going to be the same. It doesn't look like he's seen that Legion goo mine there, but he will get a beautiful wallbang Gonfi onto Mad Mouse, and that is one of the Ouroboros fraggers just going down there early on, and that takes Pulse off the board. So that is again huge. It's time to start pushing blue stairs, get into server and think about getting that wall open and baiting these smokes with plenty of time left. Let's see a plant for the first time on bank.
Let's see a plant indeed. Like you say, smokes on the table. Pulse is going to be off the board as well, so that's the C4 gone. It's all very important. Gonfi picking up his second nice kill of the round onto Crying. Dealey there, saving his life, picking up onto Heisenberg. So, not too sure how that played out really, but Peter and Joe are left. The Lion scan's coming out, and the plant must go down.
Yep, that wall's going to be open by thermite now. Zach just getting his job done. He's going to rotate round, possibly get the second wall so that they can hold the angle from behind the server stack to prevent those smokes coming out. I'm not sure if he's going to do that or not, but this is going to be no easy task to smoke. But one good throw goes in, downs Dealey Die and gets the kill from Peter. Very nicely done with smoke, but I think Dealey was already a little bit lit going into that one. But if you look now at the health across that attacking team, they are definitely starting to be worn down. Gonfi with a team kill onto Feral, Joe with a double kill. My name is Zach and Gonfi both going down. This has really turned the tide, and how important is that team kill going to be onto Feral, taking out the IQ as he rushed in there to start attacking site, and that leaves the diffuser right down in the middle of the room. Out comes the last smoke. 40 seconds to go, and Joe and Peter here just need to hold those angles and wait for Jesus to move in. He has no choice but to go and get that defender. He now surely has to start looking at playing for kills, so he's going to go prone and he's going to crawl in. He's going to see if he can get in there without their knowledge. And both of them, Peter and Joe, still lying still at this point. They're waiting for the noise cue of that diffuser going down. But Jesus definitely looking for kills. I don't think he realizes just how close Joe is. And as he goes through the plant, Joe moves around, playing it perfectly. Great play from the defenders there just to close out that round. And Ouroboros take another round.
That could be a very, very crucial round. To be in that position downstairs without the mirror in play and to still come out on top after being in, I think it was a 2 versus 5, is massive. The TK certainly hurt Dave Esports there, and I've no idea why it was Dealey that was planting the bomb. He's the Jackal. He should have the smoke grenades. I didn't see the smoke grenades get deployed. I feel like they were planting blind, or maybe he was just getting caught up in the doorway, switching the diffuser around or something, and the smoke grenade came out from Peter at a perfect time. We've seen Peter play in the smoke time and time again, and on my notes as I was rereading them before this match, it said Peter, and the next to it in brackets was Survivor, and he is the survivor of Ouroboros. He's always one of the last alive, and he plays the smoke, so he does his job perfectly, and he did his job perfectly then. Fantastic round. Ouroboros, they're 2 rounds away from this, and they really could take it. If they manage to take bank from Dave Esports, it is Dave Esports' map. There is no denying that. That's going to be absolutely huge for them going forward in this. And it's just as we were saying, it really is any teams. All these games could go to either one of the teams. There's nothing that's pre-decided. You know, there's no foregone conclusions. It really is all to play for.
Great plays from Ouroboros here, and like you say, Dave Esports must be really kicking themselves coming out of that last round. They got the pulse, we've got Mad Mouse off the board there really quickly with a nice wall bang through the barricade, and at that point when you're 5v4 you've got to start thinking Pulse is off the board, they don't have a mirror, the information's limited, you know, surely we're in a really good spot here, you know, you'd take that all day long, but then 5v2 comes along, and all of a sudden it was just the push towards that defuse. I'm not quite sure what IQ was doing running into the middle of the room. It just all started to fall apart there. Gonfi with the team kill, and yeah, Joe and Peter just playing that absolutely perfectly, not going kill chasing, just waiting for that sound cue. In it came, and they finish it off. So now they move on to Archives, a location that has not been won by attackers yet. Remember, we've seen it I think 5 times, and it's still not been won by the attackers. So this could well put them onto match point, unless Dave Esports can kick the trend. And there comes the first kill. Mad Mouse getting the C4 kill with Pulse, so showing how important that Pulse can be. Gonfi getting a kill onto Joe, but Crying trading that back out onto Gonfi, and Crying on the Vigil just playing up there in CEO, making a nuisance of himself and refusing to allow Dave to take top floor control.
Ouroboros have definitely come here to play. They're feeling this momentum, and there's no doubt in their minds they feel this game coming their way as Crying picks up another one onto Jesus. 4 versus 2 in, you know, the first half of this round. It's got to be looking good for Ouroboros at this moment in time. You know, we did see it previously though. Dealey Die there picking up the kill onto Mad Mouse. That's going to be the first one that Dave Esports is going to be looking for. Now, we did see it last round where Ouroboros clutched out with 2 guys against 4. Can Dave Esports return the favour this time? Crying and Dealey Die are going to come into a bit of a skirmish here, as Zach was also pushing him, but Crying going to rotate out, maybe go back up these spiral stairs and, you know, maybe try and push this point a little bit further. There's not really a lot of potential for Dealey Die and Zach here to, you know, get much done. They've got, you know, I guess they've got 2 frag grenades left and an exothermic charge, so they are going to be able to open up the floor, but that is not quite going to get shot from underneath. So the floor is going to be open, but that's not really going to give them any way of getting down into the objective and getting the plant off. It does make things a lot more difficult. You know, losing that book early from Feral is definitely hurting them at this moment in time when they're trying to look at opening the floor. There's not a lot of time left on the clock. We're moving into the last 35 seconds of the round now, and Dave Esports are going to have to start doing something if they want to win this round. Dealey Die does go down, is going to get reset. That's going to cost valuable time at this stage. C4's coming out, but not able to find their mark. 2 versus 3 right now, and the smoke grenades are going to start coming out. Dealey Die is going to run through the smoke grenades, take a little bit more damage, does pick up with the first kill onto Crying. Heisenberg takes out Zach. It is now all down to Dealey Die. There's only 8 seconds left on the clock. The diffuser's down. Heisenberg picks up the final kill, and that is match point now for Ouroboros.
Great plays there again from Ouroboros. As you said, he had Crying upstairs on the Vigil. By the time he rotated down, there was only a minute left on the clock. He's done more than his fair share of the job there. He's kept them out of top floor control for 2 minutes, picking kills up whilst he was up there as well, trading out, picking up Gomfi for sure. And again, just holding Dave off. We've seen so many successful defenses of Archives. That was the perfect time for Ouroboros to be able to go to Archives and pick it up and get themselves onto match point. So now wherever they go, they know they're going to be 5-4 and they're going to have a match point opportunity on Archives, which has now been successfully defended, I think, 5 or 6 times. This is huge.
Don't count them out of lockers, though. Joe and Peter did the business last round, last time on lockers, and I'm sure they're going to look to do it again. Like you say, match point now, 5-3. If they're able to take this, it's going to be such a convincing win. I don't believe that Dave Esports have won an attacking round yet, despite having that 5-2 advantage and almost throwing, really. So that's definitely got to be hurting them at this stage, and this is where the mind game comes into it a little bit. Ouroboros have got a lot of momentum moving into this. Dave are probably sat there thinking, nothing we're doing is working, everything's going wrong for us. They're just coming down on that wrong end of the, of how the game's playing out at this stage. But interested to see the bit of a switch up of operator. Feral now opting for a Zafir. So maybe acknowledging that they need a bit more of destruction and a bit more, shock and awe, if you will, with the Grismot mines as opposed to the Jackal.
Crying just working up on the top floor again there as Vigil, and he's going to look to once again waste as much time as he can, and that Vigil can move very quickly around the map, so can easily roam first and second floor and just keep his cloak working, keep himself off the drones, and just make it very, very difficult for them to approach comfortably. And you can see he's just holding himself there at the top of elevator stairs, I believe, waiting, as he moves downstairs. He's looking to come into open, and you can see 4 of Dave Esports' attacking team looking to take top floor control there. Now, that's what they're going to want to do. They're going to want to spend the first minute and a half getting top floor and first floor control so that they can just focus on the objective. And that looks like they might have actually achieved that already with Crying moving back down the stairs to the basement level. So it looks like all 5 are going to be sitting downstairs and just waiting and holding those angles. But Crying, as ever, making a nuisance of himself, just coming back up blue stairs with the speed of Vigil, and he's going to be looking for a peek, but he might have got droned out very briefly, but the mute jammer expertly placed, just stopping the drone getting in there, and I think it actually kept Crying safe. Now he knows that they are playing the hatch, and this is all about timing from Crying. He's going to wait to move up there. He wants them to start committing to hatch. He wants their ADSs to be focused, and is he going to come together and get the first kill here? Yes, he is. He surely gets a kill onto Feral. Yes, he does. Gets the kill, but then Dealy Die moves in and trades that out, so that brings us to 4v4, and I'm sure Crying would have hoped to possibly get 2 or even all 3 of them then.
Yeah, definitely. You could see it unfolding in front of your eyes, couldn't you? There was certainly the potential, but he did a fantastic job of wasting a lot of time on the stairs. Mute there really helping him out. Mute and Vigil combination there. It's going to make droning super difficult. Although the wall is now open for the plant. Gomfi there just getting Peter. As I said that Peter was the survivor, he's unfortunately been killed in the final minute. So he has survived a fair amount of time. Joe there picking a kill up onto Gomfi. And it does look as though Mad Mouse has just got the kill onto Zach as the diffuser was going down. So that is going to halt that. Although Jesus there managing to get the kill onto Heisenberg, getting caught in no man's land a little bit at the hatch. I believe Daly is going to be throwing some grenades in now, and it does look as though he's going to get the kill onto Joe between a rock and a hard place, and it's now all down to Mad Mouse. I believe the diffuser will be going down any second, and Jesus does manage to pick up the kill. Beautiful round from Dave Esports. They played that really well. I think that the pacing of it was fantastic. They managed the time perfectly. As you said, they managed to get all upstairs control, first floor control, and they were just able to, really pressure Ouroboros then. I am a big fan of, kind of turtling up a little bit on if you're on match point and you're defending somewhere that you have won. I do believe that it works because you're holding tight angles. You're not losing, to kills that can't easily be traded out. If you're defending in the objective, you should be able to be trading most of your kills. But Dave Esports there just doing the business and saying we're not over yet, although we are still on match point. And as Ace kindly said before, officers and tellers has been notoriously difficult for the attackers so far this evening.
Yep, Dave, now just needing to press that reset button really, you know, mid-match and just say, right, you know, what have we been doing that's working, what has not been working, you know, let's do more of one and less of the other. And you know, maybe they've done that so far, but Lockers, very difficult place, but it did get them their first win in 4 rounds. Ouroboros were 3 in a row at that point, so that's going to be a big confidence boost for Dave to just say, yeah, we're still in this, we're still here, and we're going to come back and we're going to have to... But they do have to come back and take Archives now, which has not been successfully done so far. We will see no Book this time from Feral, choosing instead to go for Dockerby, no Sledge. So again, they are going to be limited in terms of opening up that CEO floor, which was something that I think we saw that they struggled with last time. Had they had Book alive and up there and could have opened that opened that floor up much quicker, I think they might have had a little bit more success pushing onto site. But that being said, not to take anything away from Ouroboros, they had a very good defensive round last time out on Archives, and I would expect to see more of the same. But will the roam game upstairs be as successful?
Are you ready for this pre-placed C4? Oh, he's not detonated it. Heisenberg pre-placed a C4 under the floor there, and it's just missed. Jesus and Gomfy and Feral all ran in, but the C4 was just a little bit too far to the right as they were coming through the doorway. Feral going to pick up an early kill onto Joe. It does look as though Dave Esports have woken up a little bit and they're saying, nope, we're going to take this map by the scruff of its neck. Shots already coming into Crying. The grenade seems to be following him down the stairs as he's trying to run away from it, although he is going to get away with not too much hit points lost. Quickly there, Dave Esports have put this into a 5 versus 4, but Mad Mouse is getting a little bit of information on his heartbeat scanner, although the shots are raining down from Jesus upstairs, and that's going to make throwing that nitro cell that little bit more difficult. First nitro cell there from Heisenberg. Like we said, the pre-place not successful. Little bit out there, unfortunately, but still got one on Mad Mouse, so there is definitely the potential for some kills from below, although I believe that may have just been it. Yeah, I think that was. Unfortunately there, C4 not finding it smart. Jesus there picking up Peter. Feral picking up Mad Mouse, and another one onto Heisenberg. Feral is on fire. Captain of the team. It's certainly not going to go down without a fight on their own map. It does look as though Dave Esports are going to take Bank 2 and OT as Zach picks up the final kill onto Crying as he vaults through the window with the bear in 9. And we've got ourselves an overtime. Dave Esports have come back fantastically on this map. I think we've been sat on match point for, at least a round now, and it always gets a bit difficult when that momentum shifts.
Feral with a 3k there. So as you say, team captain just coming in and saying, not on my watch, we are not going to lose our map. So they've gone from 5-3 down, 2 match points defended. That brings them into infinite overtime. So we will now look for 2 rounds about. So it will be 2 on attack, followed by 2 on defense. And we will need a team to win by 2 clear rounds. Dave carrying a little bit of momentum now. Not only have they got 2 rounds on the bounce, they've also successfully attacked that Archives Lockers hold, Archives Tellers hold, which we haven't yet seen up until that round successfully attacked.
Gomfy coming out with a Cav play. It's almost like Caster's prediction. You were talking about Kavera in the pre-game of the first match, and it looks as though she's got the shotgun as well. So that's something that you definitely don't see every day at this kind of a level.
Bank a definite roaming map, but as you say, what impact can that Cav have? And she's going to be wanting to use a silent step as much as possible because we've got Joe on Jackal, perfect counter pick, so that could be a little bit of a battle between those two. And like you say, that shotgun could be a dangerous choice for Bank because there's a lot of long lines of sight here, and I know that Cav's gun isn't the best at distance anyway, but the shotgun is certainly going to be worse. So, but it looks like he's favouring the pistol at the minute, and he's going to be looking for those downs. And if he can get an early interrogation, that could really be a game changer. Yeah,
an interrogation would be amazing, but interesting to see where he rotated there. I almost felt like he was trying to save his foot, then he went through open, so a bit of a weird one. Like you say, the silent step there perfectly countering Jackal's sort of footprint scanner. Crying there going to be. It really seems that they've been pushing this this double window at the top of terrace quite often. Both teams have pushed this pretty much every single round now, and it is a very popular place for them to enter. But I'm surprised at how many C4 kills and attempted C4 kills we've seen on either side. And there it comes from Daily Die getting the C4 kill onto Crying just as we were talking about it. So it really does shock me that they do choose to keep coming through this area. Grismot Mine there doing the job for Feral, stunning Joe into a frenzy and unable to get the kill. So quickly Dave Esports have taken this 2 kills into their favor. putting us onto a 5 versus 3. And where is Kavera? Currently hiding out in cameras somewhere, maybe looking at getting the kill onto the Lion. But Feral is going to have something to say about that, and he's going to return some fire. This could be the perfect distraction. There we go. Heisenberg picking up that kill onto Daily Die. Daily Die running up there to try and help Feral out a little bit, but unable to do so.
Gomfi just waiting for his moment there. He's at the top of the stairs, and he's just going to wait until they start committing to this push, and then he will try and go for the late flank coming behind, and he'll probably pick, he's looking to pick up 1 or 2, I'm sure. We've got Lion and Thermite, Heisenberg and Peter still working upstairs, and they're going to have to start thinking about getting access to site. That's one thing that we've certainly seen them struggle with so far on this Archives hold, is getting into site and potentially getting a plant down. But Mad Mouse coming in and getting the kill onto Zach, so that takes Legion off the board, and he's going to lose them a few goo mines. I'm sure he's already got some down, but there won't be any more. We've got Feral just waiting out there again on the roam, just waiting for his moment to pounce. So we've still got Feral and Gomfi on the roam, just waiting for this flank. But do they know that they're attacking from main lobby?
Difficult to tell at this stage. Certainly some Valk cams must still be in play, but it does look as though Kavera is going to get picked up there by Peter. That guy Jesus getting the kill onto Mad Mouse, so keeping the man count at an all equal 2-2. Peter there getting another kill onto Jesus. So quickly this has moved into a 2 versus 1 in favor of the attackers, and that's the Lion coming out there just freezing the defenders in their tracks. Goo mines are going to start doing the job, and Feral is on the flank here. He's going to be coming up behind both of these players, and it all depends on which doorway he chooses. If he wins this engagement with Heisenberg, he's got a very good chance of this. But Heisenberg there with his crosshairs placed at the perfect height for a crouching Ella, trying to crouch walk through the doorway, manages to pick up the kill. First round going to Ouroboros of overtime and moving them into match point. We do, of course, need 2 clear rounds for either team to win.
The Rome game not particularly cleared from Ouroboros there, but I think it's also fair to say they're not particularly effective from Dave. It was like they were almost allowed to roam. The Ella and the Cav were still alive with about 40 seconds to go, and Gomfi and Feral there just allowed to sort of roam and, hold their angles and hold their spots and wait for the moment. But the moment never really came, and they didn't really make it pay enough, I don't think.
No, not making it pay there, and maybe a bit of a missed opportunity. You can see Gomfi there switching straight back onto the dock. I think that the Kavera play was a great idea, but it possibly just got countered a little bit too hard by the Jackal. Joe's been pretty consistent in bringing the Jackal, although we have seen Joe playing Book quite often and doing a very good job of that as well, I might add. So, obviously favouring that destruction in the shotgun. And doing the job on Bank. I guess Bank is probably one of the most Jackal friendly maps, if there is such a thing. Looking now to defend downstairs, as you've said previously, this has been a really difficult one for the attackers to attack. They've not really been able to get much in the way of success down here. So this could this be the first round for Ouroboros to pick up on attack downstairs in Office and Tellers? The Valkyrie cams there from Daily Die is certainly something that Heisenberg is going to want to concern himself with here. He's found the first one, but I'm not sure if he's found the second one. His drone did get taken out. So this is all about this C4 kill that we've seen from both sides. And Daily there looking to make his way over there, and maybe he's still got a camera there that he's going to try and use to get another C4 kill.
Seems like Gomfi's gone from one extreme to the other here. He was roaming with Cav last game with the shotgun, so super short range and lightweight fast speed. This time he's gone for Doc, so he's on minimum speed and an ACOG for the maximum range. So he definitely decided things didn't work out last time, but they are going to come together, and it looks like the roam clear is starting already. 45 seconds into the round, and down goes Feral on the Ella with Crying, but that will be traded out by Zach getting the kill onto Crying. So Legion also working upstairs with Gomfi on the dock, who has overjuiced himself at the minute, but not got into an engagement, so possibly some healing wasted there. Heisenberg getting the kill onto Zach, so that takes the Legion off the board and leaves Gomfi upstairs on his own. It's time to pinch the dock now and just get him removed, and that will give them top floor control and a 4-on-2 if Doc goes down, currently 4-on-3. And there goes the Jackal from Gomfi, but Heisenberg manages to get in and get the trade, so that will leave us 3v2. We've got Valk and Bandit left on the board against Heisenberg, Peter and Mad Mouse. Twitch Twitch Thermite and IQ, with it all to do but 1 minute 20 and plenty of time to start planning the push.
Looks like Twitch is going to try and get herself reset here, probably sitting on around 5 hit points, so definitely want to try and reset that, especially with how long is left on the clock, and that's going to happen right about now. So yeah, Dealy Die and that guy Jesus got it all to do here to save this map. This is, of course, Dave Esports' map, and currently it looks as though Ouroboros are, favourites to take it, although we haven't seen this site successfully won by the attackers, and we have seen it successfully defended by 2 defenders in a previous round. So they can't really rest on the laurels here. They've not really got, they've got a bit of potential for opening up this wall, and maybe that's what Peter is now going to look to do. Maybe push Bandit out and allow Heisenberg to get that kill if he does keep aiming on that window, but it looks as though Jesus is going to play that pretty tight, although he's going to see him, and he is going to pick up the first kill, and that's onto Peter. So he's going to pick up the second one as well onto Mad Mouse. Quickly, this has gone from a 3 versus 2 into a 2 versus 1. Heisenberg, he's on 50% because he has just been reset. He's got 15 seconds left. It's all about waiting and making the attackers push now. It does look as though Heisenberg has been stuck, and there's a lot of suspense, but we've had a connection failure. We're never going to know how that plays out.
Very unfortunate there. I mean, that's something that we've seen on archives previously. As you mentioned, that guy, Jesus, has defended that very well. I can't remember who his partner was when they went in and got a 2k each. Jesus and another one just moved in and got the couple of kills quite quickly. But obviously experiencing some technical issues on our end, but we will, I'm sure, bring you that game back as soon as we can do, being that we were currently 6-5 in the overtime phase in favour of Ouroboros, but it certainly looked as though Dave were going to take that round and bring it back to 6-all. Some great plays so far, X.
Yeah, absolutely. If I was to speculate, I'd have to say that Dave Esports probably won that round. It wasn't looking too great for Ouroboros, and I don't think that anyone on Ouroboros would be offended at me saying that. I think there was 8 seconds left on the clock, and Twitch kind of ran in a 1 versus 2. So always going to be a difficult one. But certainly a really close game, and a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Obviously, we have said that all teams in this league can compete at the highest level, and they are all fantastic teams. But Dave Esports have won Bank so convincingly in the past in a quick 6-0. I believe it was against My Revenge, who were then hooked. I believe, I may be wrong, but I do recall them winning 6-0. And for Ouroboros to come out now and to bring this to the way that they have done it at 5-all, and however that last round played out, 6-5, however that last round played out. So fantastic individual plays and fantastic team plays from both sides.
So just to disturb you real quick, we do have a quick update for you guys. Unfortunately, all of the players dropped out in those last 5 seconds of the last round. So we do have to wait on our admin's decision how to carry on, as it looks like we will just go ahead and open up the lobby again. So we just have to wait that out, and until that, Ace and Troika will have something for you.
Thank you very much for the update, Netflix. So yes, as we were saying, Archives so far has been a bit of a stalwart location. I think we've only seen 2 successful attacks on there, one from Ouroboros, one from Dave, and they actually came back to back, if my memory serves. But otherwise, it's been very solidly defended. I'm guessing as and when we manage to get back into the game, if that round needs to be replayed, we will probably be seeing that location again. And I think it's going to be very popular until somebody has to move away from it.
Well, it's going to be really difficult because you've got to win by 2 clear rounds. So that already makes things a bit difficult, obviously, with the rotation lock on the objective. So if you're a defending team and you go to office tellers and win, then you've got to go down to, wherever else you choose, lockers and server room, or you go upstairs to CEO, and you've got to win that round as well. But if you lose that, then it switches again, and then the team that's defending is going to go down to office and win that, and then they're going to have to choose a different site to win. So this is where the infinite overtime really does become a little bit infinite, because it seems like we've got a bomb site that's really favoured by the defenders in this scenario. Obviously, with the operator bans that we have, this it just so happens that this bomb site's turning into the one that's really defender favoured. So it's going to be a difficult one back and forth, and one team is going to have to break that mold either way for us to actually see a win here.
Yeah, as you said, definitely somebody going to have to buck the trend and, change up what's happened. I mean, if we look back at what we've seen so far, we've seen an awful lot of archives. We've seen 2 rounds on lockers, which have gone one in favour of attack and one in favour of defence. And then we've seen, I think, only 1 hold on CEO so far. So, is something like CEO going to play a pivotal role in coming in that it's not really been attacked or defended massively so far, which I'm sure there are reasons for. But by coming in and just, creating that little element of surprise, they're not expecting you to go there, and then you just come in and go CEO and maybe throw them off a little bit.
Yeah, I think we saw Dave Esports defend CEO unsuccessfully, I want to say, early on. I think it was second round.
Let me have a quick look. Yes, it was second round. It was Ouroboros attacking, and they attacked successfully.
So yeah, but I do, it's a difficult one. I mean, we've not got any Ying on the board. We've not got any Echo on the board. So as we've said, Ying can be really handy on those kind of objectives where there's a window, just to try and get in and try and get in without dying on the rappel, or maybe even that's what we need down in offices and tellers. Maybe we need archives and tellers. Maybe we actually need a Ying get through that wall, because there's been, I think the attackers have been successful in opening the wall more times than they haven't, from sort of, is it called desk in open area?
Yeah.
So if you open that wall and then able to throw the Ying in or get some sort of smoke in and something like that, then maybe that's when we see that objective change a little bit. But obviously with the op bands, we're just not going to see it. And that could be another reason as to why it's falling on, the defender's favour this time.
Definitely. Just going to pass over to Netflix quickly. I believe he's got another quick update for us. Netflix?
Yeah, we have an update. Admin's decision have been made, and it has been decided to carry on with a 6-6 score. So Dave Esports gets that round, and we will get right into the lobby whenever that's ready for us. So we do have to wait, I believe, 2 or 3 more minutes for the players to ready up. Have to make some changes to the in-game settings. And yeah, as I said, it will be 6-6, and we will carry on with the second overtime round, basically.
No problem. Thanks for the update, Netflix. So that round being awarded there to Dave Esports, and I think that's probably a very fair decision. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that overly. As you said earlier, X, we're going in there in a 1v2 situation. Twitch was lit as well, I believe. About 10 seconds left on the clock. Had it all to do there. So I think that's probably a fair decision there.
Yeah, you can't really ask for anything more than that as either team, really. It's as fair as it can be. I mean, we did see a draw last week, actually, which I believe was one of the first. Well, it was definitely the first draw in the EU CCS history. And that's the same scenario. Kind of, a point gets awarded to each team. But I think it was much more crucial then, because one team then went on to win. But obviously you've got to win by 2 clear rounds. So making the scoreline 6-6, it's basically just reset. We're just restarting overtime. And we're still going to be looking for, a team to get 2 clear rounds to make that win. So, it really does go on to what we were talking about just 5 minutes ago about one team is going to have to, break the mold, and they are going to have to do something different with officers and tellers. And maybe this is when we're going to see it. There's been a bit of a break here, and we all know how breaks affect players. It can really go one or two ways. The team that was on top can, fall off a cliff after a rehost. You just never know.
Saying that, coming into it, they've both won 1 apiece in the overtime so far with the ruling there. So I can't even really say that I see anybody on top here. It's as soon as you think somebody's gaining some leverage, Ouroboros seem to have a really good run at the end there and got themselves 5-3 up, had a couple of match point opportunities, and now find themselves in the infinite overtime phase, looking at 6-all. And if anything, I think the break here is going to help Dave. I think it's their map. As you said, they performed on it very well previously. They've won 6-0 on it previously. And I think just giving this few minutes is just going to be that reset button that they need to just get back in, clear the heads, just, settle everybody down, calm things. And just, if they can come in with a quick first round win and get to 7-6 and then move on, I think we could see it going in favour of Dave. But will that be the caster's curse?
Honestly, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I think Ouroboros are going to come out on top here, and purely because of the break. but we will have to see.
And as we say that, we will go back into the match. It is currently 6-6. Dave Esports against Ouroboros. And we are in the second round of overtime.
Dave Esports now moving on to the attack, so we can see the lineup there. We've got Ash, Dockerby, Lion, Thermite, and Buck. So they are clearly expecting an Archives Tellers hold. And I would like to see that Buck survive. I keep banging on about Buck and Sledge getting in above them on CEO, and we haven't actually seen it successfully achieved yet. So I'd definitely like to see Buck get up there and start getting that floor open, and I think that could be the real difference here. But as you say, X, if the first wing comes in here, into Archives, it's going to leave us in a position whereby they can defend Archives again, and at the minute at least the odds are in favour. But if it is a solid win, then maybe repetition of that same attacking strategy might just be enough to get 2 rounds in a row against Archives.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a couple of different operators here. We're bringing out the castle on Mad Mouse, and they're playing this wall in a totally different way. Going to play it with hatch open from upstairs.
A lot of success from the Roamers upstairs, I think, so far. Crying, moving on to the Ella this time. He has been playing as the Vigil previously, so I'm not sure what the reasoning for that change will be, because he seems to have had quite a lot of success, and I think it's widely regarded that Vigil's weaponry and loadout is better than Ella's. He's got the impact grenades, and just it just seems to be a better all-round roamer at the minute. So strange one there, I think, but definitely interesting to see what Ouroboros can do upstairs and how long they can hold Dave off for.
I'd really like to see, you see Feral there just leaving that camera open, but seeing if anyone was on it while he was going past. Really nice play there from the Dockerby. I'd really like to see Jesus there open up that castle barricade down in open area and just kind of command a bit of control of that wall that they've chosen to left soft, because I think that's a big bold play from Ouroboros. They're playing this totally differently to the way that has worked every single time for both teams defending, and I'm not sure if that's because there has been a break and they're expecting a slightly different strategies to come out, but it does seem like they're playing this a little bit differently. Crying going to pick up the first kill onto Feral. Dockerby off the board. Really nice roam work again from Crying, as we've seen pretty much all evening so far. Like Ace said, they're favouring the 3-speed operators and certainly doing the damage on the roam.
Yep, great plays on that Ella. As no sooner have I said and questioned his pick from Vigil over to Ella, he moves out and gets the kill, so you're welcome for that one. We've now got Daily Die moving in his book, and it looks like he's going to possibly challenge Crying on the Ella there, but shoots out the Ella man and just warns that he's on his way, and Crying very good there, picking up the second kill of the round onto Daily Die, and that takes the Buck. And once again, we will not see Buck able to go in and open up CEO floor. So the defense of Ouroboros doing really well here. Joe coming in and getting the kill onto Jesus. So that takes Ash off the board, but Zach trading it back out onto Joe. So that's Jaeger out, but his job is done largely. Having got that kill, that leaves us in a 4v2. We've got Mad Mouse still playing as the roamer upstairs. I don't think he knows that Zach is hard right. He's getting pinched as well. Zach moves in and actually gets the kill from the right. It wasn't Gomfy on Lion who we saw approaching him, but that was a great pinch. Zach and Gomfy just working as a fantastic team there to get the roamers cleared, and that is upstairs cleared out, I think, although Crying may still be running around. We're not sure where Crying has gone to at this point.
No, 3 versus 2 and only 30 seconds left. We've got Peter, one of the last players alive yet again for his team. Maybe looking to put out some smoke grenades there. He's just denied one of the entrances, but Zach is going to try and get the bomb down at this point. Crying playing pretty close. Smoke grenades come out. C4 toss goes. C4 does manage to down. Peter then gets the kill from the smoke grenade. Gomfy now with it all to do, and Peter getting that last kill. Well, picking up the last 2 kills really with the assistance of the C4 kill, and that's going to be the 7th round of 7-6, I believe. So what we're looking at there, we're looking at round 13 there going to Ouroboros. They have now got to do what hasn't been done yet, and that is defend a different site successfully. So far, we have seen offices and tellers, or archives and tellers, as the favoured defender site. We're now going to look down to lockers and CCTV room. We have seen it defended successfully, but what are they going to do differently to just close this OT out right now?
Interestingly, the only time that we've seen Lockers defended successfully tonight has been by Ouroboros. So let's see if they can do it again. But let's not forget, in order to secure that successful defense, they had to win a 2v5 situation. Joe and Peter pulling it out there and getting the last kills and just bringing it. There was a little bit of help from a team kill, and the Dave attack just sort of fell apart a little bit. But it is not to say that they can't do it again.
No, without a doubt, if there's one team that can, it is Ouroboros. They've been playing fantastically this first map. And it is hard to believe this is only the first map of this series. We've still got more to come. So we're going to be moving into the action phase very shortly. Nothing really too surprising. Pretty much the same operators as we've been seeing previously. Although we have got a bit of almost like a heavy roam this time, if you will, in the Vigil and the Ella. But it does look as though they're going to be pressuring tunnel pretty closely. Mad Mouse is going to be playing the... I love that spot with the pulse. He's going to be playing the pulse on the stairs, and that's going to give him all the information he needs. Gomfi is going to pressure him pretty quickly. C4 comes out, but doesn't manage to get the kill. Now, he's led down on the top of the stairs and does manage to pick up the kill onto Gomfi. Well, they're down at least, but doesn't manage to trade it out. Gets the kill in the end. Zofia there is going to push him, though, in Feral. Crying, taking out Jesus in and amongst all of the drama. And that's going to be a really quick, aggressive push for Dave Esports that hasn't really gone their way.
Great plays from Mad Mouse there, just as you saw, keeping himself below that stair level, and he knew he had to move in, and he had to get that kill. He had to secure it, because otherwise it was all for nothing. It was all for 50 HP after he gets picked up. So he got in there with his pistol, secured the kill. He tried to move himself away by breaking the barricade. He just couldn't make it, but he's done everything he needed to do there. And now we are in a 4v3 situation. We have got IQ, Thermite and Zofia, so not a terrible trio to try and get this plant down, but the first smoke coming out from Peter and hitting its mark, getting some health down there off Feral and off Dealey. So they've now got to start pushing. They're going to bait another smoke if they can, and then they have to start thinking about getting this plant in.
Yeah, the smoke plays there from Peter are absolutely perfect, just taking all the health that they need, wasting the time on the clock, although there is quite a lot of time left with only one canister remaining. Moving into the 1 minute 15 mark, Feral is holding a nice long angle there. Feral could even shoot the canister from this angle if he gets the opportunity to, but that's going to be the final smoke grenade. Baited out. There could be a C4 in the hands of Joe. Not too sure about that though, but Crying is waiting at the top of blue stairs for his opportunity. Maybe he uses that a little bit too early, because now they're going to know that he's there, but he can just put enough pressure on, and he does manage to get the kill. So Crying picks up the kill. Joe there, as predicted with the C4, does take out Dealey. Die, and the defenders are going to win the round. Joe picking up a lovely couple of kills at the end of that. Ouroboros taking bank off Dave Esports. Fantastic round.
Brilliant plays from Ouroboros there. As you said, they just got themselves out of the loop there. You know, second time that they've successfully defended Lockers. Great smoke plays from Peter, and that late flank from Crying. I was just about to say, it's the easiest thing to say in the world once he's already done it, but I was just about to say, I'd love to see that fourth man as Vigil just get upstairs, rotate around and put a bit of pressure on from Hatch or Blue if it's, you know, if Hatch was available, but if not, get down blue stairs. And that's exactly what he did to devastating effect, managing to win the gunfight against Thermite, and he really took the game by the scruff of the neck for his team there.
Yeah, fantastic play, and I'm really looking forward to going into the next map right now, which is gonna be Skyscraper.
Okay, and for map number 2 of Skyscraper, we will